So sometimes when you're airbrushing with your traditional equipment, you might notice that it's not spraying as efficiently as you might want it to. Whether you don't feel like you have enough air pressure, or maybe it's a little spotty in places, maybe there's a delay when you pull the trigger. All of these can indicate that there's a little extra love that you need to give your equipment. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna start at the bare minimum that might need to happen. So first things first, we need to make sure all of the makeup is out of the airbrush. And there's a couple of things that I like to do for that. First of all, we're gonna spray everything out of the airbrush. I like to use the cleaning pot to catch any overspray, especially when I am working in small spaces. And when you're doing this, if you need to turn the air pressure all the way up, go towards the plus sign, pull that trigger all the way back. Trust me when I say this is the only time you're gonna hear me say this. I never want you to pull that trigger all the way back unless you're cleaning, okay? Then turn your compressor off, grab a tissue, and let's wipe out gently inside the mixing cup to get any of the excess pigment out of the airbrush. This is gonna help you minimize how much cleaner you need to use when cleaning it. So we've got as much out as I could, and now it's time for a little bit of the cleaner. Just a few drops will do. And we're gonna go ahead and use our cleaning brush, get in there and very carefully swirl it around down by the needle. And while you have cleaner on your brush, let's go ahead and just take it to the needle end of the airbrush and gently clean around the needle opening. And then turn on your air compressor and empty it. All right, now sometimes you'll need to do a little extra. After that's done, let's go ahead and remove this tail cap. I do recommend laying the parts out over a table surface of some sort, because if you drop some of these parts and they are small, you could lose them forever. So let's just do it over a table to be sure. This is the needle chucking nut. It's what holds the needle tight into the airbrush. We're gonna remove that and we're gonna gently pull the needle out. This needle has a little bit of makeup on it. So when you do this, take a tissue and gently get the rest of the residue off the needle. But while I have the needle out, I do like to make sure that there are no hooks or bends in the tip of the needle. And the way I like to do that is by gently spinning it along my skin at the tip of my finger, and it will catch on your skin if you have a bent needle. That would be a good indication to replace it. Again, I recommend always having a spare needle in your kit. All right, so now it's time to reinsert the needle very gently into the airbrush. If you feel any resistance, stop. Please don't force it. At this point, you'll see about an inch of the needle sticking out beyond the end of the airbrush. That's how you know that it's coming through the front nozzle. We'll go ahead and really tighten that needle chucking nut and replace the tail cap. And we'll go ahead and run some cleaner through it, just a couple drops. And I'm gonna spray into the tissue here, and it's spraying clear. So we're good to go. But what if we aren't? Then we can take you to the next step, step 2 of troubleshooting.